Now, Nurdan Atalan Çayırezmez is a Near Eastern archaeologist who holds a master's degree in settlement archaeology from the Middle East Technical University. She also worked on different excavation and archaeological sites in Turkey, including the Çayırezmez project, where she worked between 2000 and 2004. Since more than 10 years, she's also involved in the Müzeciler Derneği. And as of this year, she's General Secretary of that dernek, so 10 years of involvement. Since November 2018, from 2004 to 2018, Nurdan worked at the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, where she was responsible for the Museum National Inventory System project. And everybody in the ministry seems to think that in 2018, we stole Nurdan from them. Every time we go to the ministry, they say like, yeah, Nurdan, she's working with you now. Now we say, yes, she's working with us now. So from November 2018 onwards, she worked here as the BIAA as Digital Repository Manager. And in spite of the fact that this is quite a demanding position, she still managed to finalize her PhD and graduated from Ankara University in December 2023. 23 is still to come, and with a PhD which focused on information and records management. I think that it's fair to say that when Nurdan arrived, the BIAA had been really trying to digitize its collection, but they were digitized by many people on very short-time contracts. And I'm afraid that we can say that when she arrived, she found some kind of a digital mess. Nurdan and her team, which includes Gonca, her assistant, and Orhun Uğur, the archivist, and a small army of interns and volunteers over the years, set to work to creating a digital repository, standardizing the available data according to internationally accepted standards, setting up policies, and so further and so on, and much more. In addition, Nurdan has been very active in the BIAA Digital Coordination and Strategy project, where experts of 8 BIAA, British International Research Institutes, came together to work on joint strategies, ultimately aiming at setting up a joint portal which would provide access to the repositories of all 8 individual BIAAs. And I'm very happy that today and yesterday, quite a few of these experts have been here with us at the BIAA for a face-to-face workshop. And I hope and think that this workshop has been successful. So now, without further introduction, I would like to ask Nurdan to come to the front.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and listening us today, and I'm being here. Thank you very much for attending our event this evening. So we are excited to share our digital collections with you, finally, but it is a start. So we will continue to upload and then update our system. The BIAA started the digitization work in the beginning of 20s, like Ruth mentioned, and we were using bespoke database. In 2018, Digital Repository Office started to work to create new digital repository system. Before starting to talk, I would like to thank the LUT BIAA staff, our volunteers, interns, developers, and our funders to support us to make this project available, and also like the others project, digitization projects. So like Lut mentioned, it is a teamwork. So without our team and volunteers and their support, it will be very difficult to manage and come this point. So BIAA is working as resource institute for Turkey and Black Sea region, as you know, and one of the strategic initiative is the legacy data. So using this legacy data that comes from past for the future is important. So as you know, the information technology is changing rapidly. So we are all facing digital challenges. All the institutions and cultural memory institutions also. So they have to change their collections from analog to digital, and also they have to manage their born digital data at the same time. Also, archaeological data is under threat, as you know, in the digital age. So then we have responsibility to save the archaeological excavations of the areas, as well as the archaeological digital data. So, and in addition to this, during the pandemic, as you all know, that everybody wanted to access the collections and all the data and the articles, publications online, because they were in lockdown situation. So the institutions, the cultural memory institutions are changing, and then they are also changing their digital collections. Did I manage? No. Yes. So I changed to here. No.
Okay.
Okay, so I will press this one. Sorry about this.
It has to happen when we are introducing the digital
Repository, yeah.
Of course.
So
Okay.
which one? This one?
Yeah, it's just the delayed reaction. There you go. So just right and left.
Right and left. Okay, so we have collections from 1947, including epigraphical, photographic, pottery, bone, and plant reference collections. Sorry. So as you see, and then also we had bespoke system, and everybody knows this site, the BIATR.org. And also we exported this data from the old database, and then checked the data, made an assessment for physical and digital archives in order to understand our needs and our metadata requirements for the new database, the digital repository. We tracked the commercial and open source softwares, and then try to find the best solution for us. Not best, I mean, for fees, costs, and the management and all things we considered during this process. And then we chose Islander 8 as open source system. We installed and then upgraded to Islander 9 this year. And we are using Drupal 9 front end now, and then used qualified Dublin core metadata standards, and including mode standards, because Islander system was also using mode standards. And we want to be open access repository for researchers. So we applied, we are trying to apply as much as FAIR principles, which will be the findable, accessible, interoperable, reusable data. And we choose controlled vocabularies. I will explain those things in the future, in the slides. And we applied the Creative Commons licenses for copyrights. Thank you. And then we are storing born digital and digitized analog data from collections, projects, and from events. First, I would like to start from our research projects. I was thinking I will make a presentation with the PowerPoint and then on Live server, but I found difficult when it comes to Zoom. So I will finish my presentation and I will show the Live server afterwards. So for example, we have research projects, approximately 230s. We added all the research project information into the database, and then we gave the unique number for each project. So, and then we explained the descriptions. This was in our old web page as a list and an HTML format. So we exported the data from here. We enriched the metadata and we structured the data, and then we add all the relation data, as you see here. website, YouTube playlist, and all the related projects to this one. So the famous project, the Sarat and Sara projects, are two projects which is related to each other. So then you will find the information for each project. We started from projects because the projects are the base of the whole collections and the data. So each projects are producing data for us in order to, how you say, make research for the future. So we added each project, and then afterwards, we started to link our collections to these projects. Is it working? No. Did it work?
For some reason, you have to do this.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, so we are storing our analog data from our old projects, and also we are storing born digital data from our new projects, funded projects. So this is the Ferikoy example that the system will be able to store the born digital data and the other kind of formats in itself. I hope I will manage. So you will see all the data here. So you will be able to download the data from this project. And then, so we will continue to upload the other stones data from this project. The other collection is events collection. So that was stored in our old web page as a list. The past events that we did until now, reorganized and restructured according to our standards. And then you will find all old events and update all the 2023 events in the repository with relevant information in the metadata. So from 2012 onwards. The Squeeze collection, sorry. The Squeeze collection provides information, bibliographic references for the squeezes that is created from mostly Roman Roads Milestones Project and the Roman Epigraphy Survey, REGAM and RRMM projects. And it was stored in our old database in this format, and all the images were low resolution with the watermarked, with several headings and information, as you see. We changed this data to new epigraphic collection, the Squeeze collection. I hope it will move. Oops, sorry. So you see the Squeeze picture, and then I will explain how it's done. Normally, we have squeezes in envelope in the physical environment. So each envelope has papers, so they have papers, so then it will be the one original milestone. So we store the same for the digital repository. So each envelope is one compound in the island or return, and then the parts also is the part of the envelope and the data. So this stone has two parts, which means two papers, and then you will see all the information for this stone with lots of metadata headings. And also these meanings that you can click on that one and then go to more information. So somehow linked data. And also there are the relation for the online database, because this is also published in Takum database, which is a very famous epigraphic database. And also it is published in one of our monographs, so you can go and find in our Koha catalog, and then you will find the name of the book also in the relation part. And also I will explain this part with the relevant copyright information. This another collection is photographic collection, so which was in the old database with the 5 headings, and then the second version became more headings, almost 10 headings. We again with watermark and the low resolution image. So in order to make it more open access repository, we added more information, and then image will be downloadable also. And also we added this photographer information, supervisor information, collection registrar information, publisher, and the ancient site information in the metadata information. So I will talk about archaeobotanical and animal bone reference collections. So in the old database, we had the list for the archaeobotanical collections. And then as you see the herbarium specimen we have for GJH, the Gordon Charles Hillman specimen, and actually the number should be Gordon Charles Hillman and the number. So somehow it separated in the database, but the original collector numbers should be together. So we just checked all this data from the old database and exported and did a digitization project with botanists and consultants, with the help of consultants and several funders gave grant for digitization project. So we managed to digitize our herbarium collection, charcoal collection, and the wood collection. And the plants, so it was a list and then it became like that. So you see the picture and then all the identifiers here, and then collector information, determiner information, and the flora classification term, which is also important for the botanists because they are very expert of one family or genus type. So they are searching through the flora classification terms. So you will more additional information nodes, habitat nodes, and altitude information, etc. So we made a flora of Turkey term list for Turkey. Actually, we didn't create the list. We took our terms from our database, and then we matched with the Global Biodiversity Information Facility Authority and Plant of World Online, which is the Q also is the responsible updating this database, and link this data with the authority records. So this will allow us to link our data, and then one day, if the term changes, it will allow us to update the term via relevant URL. And also it will allow us in the future to share our data with these portals. So we will be able to more visible, and at the same time, researchers can find us through GBIF portal. So we created some base for the future. The animal bone reference collection is also as list, and now we made a metadata catalog for each item, let's say, in the animal bone reference collection. We don't have photos yet for the animal bones, but we are providing metadata information for researchers. We have archaeological documents and official documents that is created by our projects and excavation projects and then survey projects, and also the official documents we created from 1940s onwards. So we have two different collections with survey notes and official letters. So you'll see one official document example. We are checking the copyrights before we publishing the official documents. If it is okay to publish, we use relevant copyright licenses and then open it. So the system allows you to put embargo or also close the image if it is necessary. So we can only open the metadata or we can open the image together. So it is very flexible system. The Pottery reference collection, we say in Turkey etütlük, the study reference collection, coming from survey mostly, and that we did many years ago. So it has, this is the Hacılar type pottery. So it is under Hacılar pottery collection. Then it belongs to one box in the physical environment here. So we refer to the box, and then we put all the relevant information in the system. So as you see, and then in each box in the physical environment, there are the bags we call assemblage. So each assemblage you will see as part in the system. So we don't want to change the system for digital repository. So we are keeping the physical cataloging system as much as possible. So you will be able to find the physical item easily when you search something digital. The drawings, we have drawings archive from archaeological excavations and surveys. And then they were plan drawings and the object drawings. So we have, we digitized those ones. We are continuing to cataloging and making, applying our standards. So it will be available in the digital repository. Citation is important for the digital data because researchers want to use data and then open data. People are thinking we will open our data so that there will be no copyright, and then all the researchers and the institutions are talking about copyrights, what will happen, our rights, etc. So we are applying two types of licenses. One is the rights statement licenses, and the other one is the Creative Commons licenses. Rights statement licenses are, I don't want to say famous, but known for cultural heritage institutions. So they are applying these standards. And then Creative Commons licenses are, you can apply almost all the digital data. So we choose non-commercial share alike license for now. So we are providing data openly for educational purposes and for, but if you want to use commercial, you have to send an email to us. And then we are providing handle information in the metadata. So you have to cite as British Institute at Ankara under our identifier, and then use our handle, which is our persistent identifier. Most of you know this as DOI for publications, but we are not using DOI. We are using handle. It is the same, same almost, but different version, let's say. How we did this, the one thing was to taking data from analog data and non-digitized data and make it structured and apply our standards. So you saw all our records. But the other thing we did in the system, we created the taxonomy, we call it the controlled vocabularies, in order to make it more accessible and findable data. So we took our person list from our old database and checked them and make it standardized and then added more information to this one. See, the David Hardy French, he was a director between this and this year, and then he was using this initial for archival material. And then we gave a local identifier, and then we linked to authority records, like name authority, the BIAA Virtual International Authority, and Wikidata. So again, it will be the base for the linked open data for our institution. And also it will enable us to share our data with other institutions, including peer institutions. And also we are providing this unique URI with this identifier. So it means our person data will be useful for other memory institutions. And then you don't need to create this person data again. If you have the same person created the one item in your institution. So we are providing verified information for other cultural memory institutions. So this is very time-consuming task to verify all these people, find out who is doing what. So, you know, sometimes you have the same name, same surname, and then you don't know the initials, etc. So you see the authority resources. again, it will allow us to link our data with other portals. And we did the same thing for ancient sites, which is another problematic area for archaeological data, because most of the archaeological sites information, unfortunately, not available online and open in Turkey. So we said one of the famous excavation, Tillahöyük, and then in Adıyaman. So we are adding alternate names. So in the future, in the search function, if you know the alternate name for this site, so you will be able to search. We added local identifier, the BIAA code, and then linked for these authorities. And also, I would like to thank to Thai project, which is very useful for us, because unfortunately they were not able to share data online, but we used their archive and the publications a lot to verify our sites. So the Getty and the Pleiades links we added, and now if you click on Tillahöyük, you will find all the related items with Tillahöyük in the system. So we did several projects during this time. Not only were working on Excel files and uploading these things. As Lut mentioned, we are working with the people together. Thanks, they are all here, and now we had wonderful time here last 2 days, I hope. And then we are partner of CIADA project, member of CIADA project, which is saving European archaeology from the digital dark age. So we are sharing our know-how, and then we are also learning a lot from this project. We are associate partner of Ariadne Plus project, again, sharing their archaeological data in a common platform. So maybe next year we can try to share our data with Ariadne. And thanks to ADS, they are supporting us and then giving consultancy. So I couldn't add all the logos here, but thanks to all other funders, we got funding from Digitisation project. And for Archives Portal Europe, we had the small grant, so we will be able to share our data with Archives Hub, Archives Portal Europe, and the Europeana. So we also tested how are we going to share our data with international platforms, as well as our local repository. So we worked hard during this time, especially during pandemic. We had to finish lots of projects. Thanks to our team, volunteers, Lut, BIA staff, London staff, and all people around us supporting us. So, and then we were really trying to our best. Thank you very much for your attention. Also, you can click on this link finally, and then see if you notice something in the system. There will be a feedback form, so you can add the link and add your comments and help us to add or edit the data, because we have a lot of data. So, and then sometimes there is missing information. So it will be a citizen science project altogether to increase our data in the database. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's obvious that Nurdan has her PhD only for a few months because she forgets to put it in front of her name all the time. So,
yeah, I have to put my title.
Yes, indeed. So there's a question on the Q&A.
Then I will also open the
sorry.
No, I mean, I will take the questions. I will try to open the links in the Zoom. Also, let's close this.
Anyway, maybe there are questions in the room here. Yes.
Actually, I'm wondering about the numbers. I'm collecting my collection. It must be huge. I mean, how many pieces?
How many pieces? So far? Oh, it is really huge. We have, I think, 4,500 something for herbarium, and we uploaded 3,500 squeezes, but these are the envelopes. So in the record, so it will be 5,000. So we have a lot of photographs still to be uploaded. We have 3,000 something drawings, but we are continuing to upload. So we have, in the different materials, we have, I don't know, huge collection, but at least we started to structure our data. We have the base, so then we will be able to continue upload more.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
75 years.
75
So-
years. Oh, I close and then
Did you close the Zoom?
no. Yeah.
Nurdan, I can ask you the questions from your Zoom. If there are no more questions in the room.
Daniel, can you help me? I can't see the Zoom. Did I close? No, it is here.
Yeah.
Open it. Just double click. Maybe there are more questions in the
What do you
room.
want to do?
We have
So
lots
see
of
the
specialists here,
questions.
so.
And also I want to open my digital repository here.
No?
It's up here.
That's the chat.
We didn't see.
There you go. It's now in front of you.
Okay.
And one sec. Let go.
And then I will open Google Chrome. And I'll
Okay.
paste my links.
Okay.
Of course, we can ask a
Yeah.
question.
Thank you very much for this great presentation.
So
I
you
was
need to
wondering,
close this.
when you put the database for the animal bones reference relation, did you add each animal bones or did you only add each taxa?
Gonca can answer this question because she did it.
Yes, it is actually created by Sebastian Paynes, defined complete,
So now I will take.
or he also
This one.
collected some different animals, different parts of areas, the partial ones actually. So we kept all of things as much as the same when they collected. So we just store some of complete pieces and also partial pieces, edit the database just as they are collected.
There are no photographs, I think, of the bones.
No photographs.
No, not yet. Not yet.
We are waiting for it.
So can they see?
We need to share.
You need to share again from Zoom.
Okay, and then maybe I can read the questions and we can answer. Mhm. Okay, is this the first one?
Shall I read it?
Yeah, yes,
So,
please.
So Richard Hughes asks, will you and how will you collect and present drone, laboratory testing, and geophysical prospection data? That's immediately, okay.
One of the biggest challenge now is the born digital data from research projects for archaeologists. And now the CIADA project and Ariadne project are discussing this, how to store this geophysical data in the repositories, and how are we going to show this one. The second important thing is here the digital preservation of these different format of data. So thanks to ADS, they are supporting us and giving advice in the group how to do it. In our digital repository, now we are taking this data and unfortunately, we are making archive in a zip-pack format, let's say, like we did for 3D data, and I'm putting it in the record. So you will be able to download the data with relevant information. So it means you will see the data, you will not see the data, you will see the record information, and then you will see the download part. You will download it and understand the data in the metadata field. So you will be able to use the data, but it is very difficult to put the extension for viewer for different type of data. So geophysical data, you have another viewer. For drone data, you have another viewer. So we are not using different viewers. We are providing data for researchers with relevant metadata and relevant copyright information. I hope the answer is okay for you.
Michael Metcalf asks, wonderful presentation. I think we agree. Fascinating to see what you've accomplished. I worked on a very early version of the Squeeze database in 2002. And one issue I had then was how easy it would be to add in new entries. For example, when a new Squeeze was given to the BIA. Will it be easy to do so with a huge amount of data that seems to be required for every entry and the possible technical knowledge that would be required to input it?
A very nice question. Thank you. I think Orhun was struggling to import all the squeezes into the database. Yes, we can take the new squeezes in our database. We are using one template for all kind of material for our repository. It is a bit difficult, so we can ask our BIRI people here, how is it easy or difficult to fill this Excel file, the template? But we can provide the template to donator, let's say, who wants to give the squeezes to us, and then try to fill, because you are the owner of the squeeze, you know how did you do it, and then where is the place for this squeeze. So if you provide some data with our template, we will work on it and then we will make it machine readable and ingest. So there is a bit technical knowledge, but if you are very good at with Excel, I should say, so you will be able to manage. Thank you.
Okay. Linda Whitley Irving asks, says, thank you, Nurdan, and the team for all your work. I am glad that the Tile ethnographic photos will be available. No one had a camera back then, but they are very technologically sophisticated now.
Maybe you can show the Tile photos.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, where are you?
No. Okay, maybe we can show them indeed, some of the Tile photographs, because they are indeed quite spectacular. I put a question in back then, but so that's it. No, is there more to the question? No. And then so I think that Linda is in contact with the family of the photographers. So I put a question there. Tutku Tuncalı asks, you can add a digital content of the inscription of the squeeze section through tools such as Epidoc, which is of course very true. In addition, context, evaluation and typology could be added for the contents in the pottery section. Therefore, it may be possible to obtain a form of labeled data that can be used other than photography. So that's more a comment and a suggestion. So what source of controlled vocabularies for architecture, for instance, are you using? Will they be used for the individual photographs?
Okay, thanks to Tutku Tuncalı for comment. We are talking with Stephen Mitchell about this Epidoc. Then the problem is here, we have different type of materials and then they all need different expertise and then different information. So pottery, for example, we had a researcher last month and then has a lot of detailed information. So if someone, a researcher, work on this material and provide an Excel file or another file with results, so we will be able to put it in this repository and then link with the relevant collection, e.g. photography or pottery. So then as a statistically research, if you are doing, so you will be able to use those Excel files. But in our repository, if we start to add more headings, now we have a lot of headings, as you see, it is getting a bit problematic to fill all the areas. So, and then, so an Epidoc and a pottery is in this situation for us. What sorts of controlled vocabularies are you using for architecture? Unfortunately, we are not using for architecture. We are using Library of Congress subject heading and the FAST subject heading. It is very general for now as subject, but Ariadne Plus is using Getty AAT, which is very specific, but we didn't start to add more specific subjects to these catalogs because it is really time consuming. And also you have to understand the architecture in the photograph. So you need a better data in your hand to add data for architectural subjects.
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yes. Okay, Richard Hughes asks, will I be able to use ML and IA, machine learning and artificial intelligence for analysis of your data streams?
I hope yes, because we are adding data in it, and now we are using Creative Commons licenses. So data will be available. So we will see the statistics via Google soon, also in the system. Of course, that we are sharing our data in order to produce more research for cultural heritage area, the Ottoman and cultural heritage management, archaeology. So you will be able to create new innovations with our data, and then if you share your data afterwards with us, we will be able to link, and then more people can use for future research.
Okay, I think that these are all the questions online. Are there more questions in the room? Yes, Hakan, please.
Well, first of all, congratulations for the amazing work to you and to the team, all the members. I was wondering if you have any plans for adding 3D scanning and for potteries or animal bones.
So you have to repeat the question, please.
Yeah. Okay. The question from Hakan: do we have plan to do 3D scanning for our animal bone and the pottery collection? I hope and a funding team energy. I don't know. I mean, it depends on funding. If someone wants to do more research on these collections, it is open to researchers, and then we can open. But for myself, I found very difficult to deal all these different type of materials to digitize. For example, I worked with wonderful botanists. I learned a lot, but 3D scanning is not my topic. But someone can come, and if we will be able to find fund, we can do the project, and we can add the 3D scans for animal bones. I think Gonca is waiting to see the 3D bones in our collection.
And
Özlem probably.
Okay. Yes, please.
First of all, thank you very much for your effort. It's a very good project, and I think in Turkey we need a lot of good examples, and the other institutions may be inspired from this project. Can you create a blog post or something like this, the story of this project, and everybody maybe read and create a roadmap for their institutions?
Okay, thank you.
If you have time.
Yeah, if you have a time, thank you. Thank you. The question came from Orçun Madran, who is helping a lot for CC licenses from CC Turkey. It was what was that? It was how we did this journey. So if we write a blog post about our journey, how we digitize and how we made this digital repository, it will inspire other cultural memory institutions and other people, and then we will be able to share our expertise and knowledge. That was the comment, I guess.
If there are no more questions, then I would like to thank Nurdan and the members of her team who are here, but also our botanists and their consultants for being here with us. And last but most definitely not least, the BIAA president, who is also here, Sir Dominic Chilcott, for being here with us, and also everybody who attended on Zoom. And unfortunately for all of you on Zoom, you cannot join us in the reception, but I would like to invite everybody here in the room to join us now for a glass of wine. And Nurdan wants to say something.
I will show a few things from Live Server, just how you see in the digital repository. So you will be able to explore more when you go home. So, but can you see the screen, the Zoom people?
Yes,
yes, the digital repository, yeah. I will, oops. Okay, so the page is very simple. There is a home, it's always home. So you will be able to search the data from here. Oops. Oops. And okay, there is Explore here. If you go to Explore, you will see our collections that I mentioned in our presentation. I hope we will see soon. I will accept this. So you will see the collections, and then you will see the botanical reference collection, for example. I will show for it. And then the botanical reference collection, we have 4 types of material: wood, charcoal, seed information, the Excel file, and the herbarium collection. If you go to herbarium collection, then you will find the specimen information, which was in the photo. And then you will go down. So I mentioned all the links in the system. So if you go here, the Terifolium, Frigiferium, I hope I pronounced correctly. So you will see the information, and then you will see and then if you click the global, the GBIF link, you will go to GBIF, and then you will explore more about this plant. I hope I will go back. So this is the idea of linking data in the system. Did I close?
Yes, you stop Zoom.
You didn't stop Zoom. She just stopped Chrome and then stopped the sharing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will open Chrome again for ethnographic photos. Okay, so there is about
You
page.
need to share.
Oh, sorry. Where is it? First one?
No, that's the whole screen. But that's okay.
Which one? This one? Okay, is it okay? Yeah, this is the about page. I'm giving basic information about our repository. This is the resources page. We are giving basic general information. No, this is the resources page. So we are providing our publications information, and then we did several workshops and lectures. We did a very nice translation about the FAIR principles for archaeological data. So you will see relevant resources here. I hope there is a guidelines here. But this thing, does it work?
Yeah. So
And then you will see the general information about the collections, which we used IPNI, GBIF, Bizim Bitkiler, POVO for herbarium, for example, and then we used geological data, ancient site data from Thai and GETITGN, and then how you request the physical access for the collections, and then how you will find the if you want to, after your visit as a researcher, if you want to digitize an item, you have to contact us again. And then there is the feedback form. If you see something, please notice us, so we will check and correct. And these are the projects. So each project, if you don't come through the Explore page, you will come from here, and then you will click that and then go. So if we go to photography collection for ethnographic photos, so you go to a photography collection, the general information, and then the collection page again. And the famous Tillahoyuk photographic collection. I think we have 10,000 something photographs from this Tillahoyuk archive. And then we have the ethnographic photos. Again, thanks to Archives Portal Europe, we managed to rescan some of those slides. And then we shared these slides via Archives Hub, via our Archives Portal Europe, and it will be visible on Europeana portal soon. So you see all the ethnographic photos. Some photos are sensitive information. There's a woman washing a child, so we put this logo. So you have to request the photo from us. And then all the photos from Tille. So we managed to add in this collection. So thank you very much for your attention.
Let's close this. All right, thank you. And then now we are going to, please, you can proceed to the reception. Bye, Atalan.
Bye, everyone.